Chapter 24. Speculative Theory. The Great Flood as an Energetic Reset. An interdimensional view of history and human decline. Across nearly every ancient culture, from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, we find stories of a great flood, a sweeping deluge that destroyed civilizations, swallowed cities, and marked a clear before and after in the human story. In the Bible, it is Noah. In Sumerian myth, it is Utnapishtim. The Aztecs, Hindus, Chinese, Norse, Aboriginal Australians, and countless tribal oral histories tell the same essential tale: the world once ended in water. It is easy to dismiss this as a coincidence or a metaphor, but the Earth itself bears witness to cataclysm. Geological strata show signs of sudden, global flooding events. Megalithic structures around the world, such as those at Göbekli Tepe, Puma Punku, and Nan Madol, seem to predate written history and show signs of violent destruction, not by time or weather, but by force. Massive stones tossed like toys, melted walls, vitrified ruins, these are not ordinary ruins. They look obliterated. Before these events, we find myths of another world, not just physically unified as Pangaea, but spiritually and energetically aligned. Stories of Eden, Atlantis, Lemuria, Shambhala, and Hyperborea speak of places where divine knowledge, elemental mastery, and human harmony were the norm. A time when humanity was not fractured by nation, race, religion, or ego, but lived in conscious symbiosis with the earth and cosmos. A time of integration, when spirit and matter danced in balance, the masculine and feminine held as sacred equals. But something shifted. Some speculate that this golden age deteriorated due to misused power, wars fought with psychic or energetic weaponry, corrupted initiates using sacred knowledge for domination or indulgence, perhaps even genetic manipulation of life forms beyond comprehension. Instead of honoring the elemental realms, earth, air, fire, and water, civilizations began exploiting them. Instead of revering sexuality as a life force, they used it to control. Instead of aligning with the divine feminine, they silenced her. When the energetic harmony of the planet reached a critical imbalance, the Earth responded. Or perhaps, as this theory suggests, was forced to respond. A pole shift, physical, magnetic, and spiritual, triggered global disaster. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and violent storms restructured the planet. Cultures were annihilated, languages lost, technologies buried. Those who had seen the collapse coming, priest-scientists, elemental masters, or simply lucky survivors, either retreated underground, ascended to higher realms, or began anew with fragments of what once was. Here lies an often overlooked possibility that the first civilizations of our textbooks were not original creators, but inheritors. When the waters receded, survivors discovered the remnants of those lost Golden Age cities. Temples, pyramids, and stone foundations became the seedbeds of new cultures. Eden, Atlantis, and Shambhala may not have been destroyed entirely, but fractured, shattered temples and cities later reoccupied by Sumerians, Egyptians, Mayans, and Indus Valley peoples. This could explain why so many ancient sites appear anomalously advanced from their very beginning, with sudden leaps in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture. It is as though they were not building from scratch, but adapting what had already stood. The myths of paradise lost may, therefore, be cultural memory of inhabiting ruins older than the flood itself. Humanity's rebirth after the deluge was not upon a blank slate, but on the bones of the world that came before. Some built new civilizations with what knowledge they could preserve. Some carried only oral stories and tribal rituals. Others, in fear of repeating history, sought to control or hide the remaining esoteric truths. Over time, these survivors evolved into everything from mystics and yogis to kings, scribes, and warlords. And it is possible that Judaism, like many other spiritual systems, arose from this fractured rebirth, trying to establish a new moral code in the ruins of a fallen world. Not inherently evil, but birthed from trauma and separation. Thus, the Great Flood may not have been a punishment, but a planetary correction, a forced recalibration in response to the collective misuse of power. Not simply myth, but memory, encoded in our DNA, echoed in our dreams, and hiding in the cracks of our ancient stones. What if this is not the first reset, and not the last? Pole shifts are not exclusive to ancient myth. They are part of Earth's geological pattern. The magnetic poles have reversed multiple times throughout history. What is intriguing is the possibility that these shifts are not just random natural events, but are linked to human behavior, especially our energetic imprint on the Earth. The more we deviate from elemental and spiritual balance, through war, exploitation, environmental destruction, and spiritual ignorance, the more unstable the Earth becomes. This creates a feedback loop. Chaos feeds the Earth's imbalance, which feeds more chaos. Emotional states, thoughts, frequencies, all of it accumulates into a global energetic field. When the distortion becomes too great, the system resets. Today, we are seeing the symptoms again. Climate chaos and unpredictable weather. Mental health crises, spiritual numbness, and global unrest. Endless wars, inequality, and division. Biological degradation through toxins, altered food, and genetic manipulation. And notably, signs of magnetic pole shift. The question is not if we are nearing another reset, but whether we can interrupt the cycle. If this theory holds, then our current trajectory, with its technological addiction, spiritual blindness, and elemental imbalance, will eventually trigger the Earth's self-correction. But it is not inevitable. We are not doomed to repeat the past unless we choose ignorance. We can heal. We can reawaken. By reclaiming our role as stewards of the elemental, as children of Source, we can bring our frequency back into alignment with the Earth. We do not need to be perfect, but we must be honest. We must see the distortion in ourselves and in our systems, and we must choose integration. Maybe this is the final choice every civilization faces, to evolve into harmony, or to fall into fire, flood, and forgetting again.